Hi, I'm Beth Johnston.
I'm Anna Gilmore.
I'm Kim Shanley.
I'm Lee Reynolds, and we
are your
Community Engagement
Team. Welcome everyone to Our Community Rocks, where we will be providing updates on our community engagement, our chapter program, and our chapter fundraising efforts. And while we're not able to be together in person, I'm so happy that so many of you made it here today to be with us virtually. So let me extend a virtual hug. Many of you were with us at the Connect conference in Las Vegas in June of 2018, when we officially launched our chapter program. And a handful of volunteers held up their hand to say, I'm in, to help build our community by creating an official chapter in their area. And since then, we've come a long way, baby. The goals we still maintain for this program are threefold. 1, to ensure our families are empowered through education. 2, to build connectivity and support among our FSHD community. And 3, to ensure the program is not only self-sustaining, but contributes to our mission of finding treatments and a cure through fundraising. Mahatma Gandhi said it best, a small group of determined spirits fired by an unquenchable faith in their mission can alter the course of human history. And that is exactly what all of our volunteer leaders are doing. From 0 official chapters in 2018, we now have 28 chapters all over the country. If there's a dot missing in your area and you're interested in leading a chapter locally, please reach out to me. Here is our ever-expanding list of volunteer-led chapters in the order that they became official, and their amazing chapter directors. Also in 2018, as a precursor to rolling out the chapters, we needed to develop an easy, repeatable fundraising event that any chapter, if they wanted to do so, could put it on. A fundraiser in a box concept, if you will. This national branded event became known as the Walk and Roll to Cure FSHD. In early 2018, we asked a brave group of 5 individuals to take on an enormous challenge. That was to help us develop, test, and execute our very first nationwide Walk and Roll to Cure FSHD. Every month, they attended a webinar training session, reviewed and used the new online fundraising platform and materials and guides that we created, and attended follow-up sessions where we would discuss and review any challenges or lessons learned as a group. We set a goal for this first year to raise a total of $100,000. All 5 successfully planned and hosted a Walk and Roll to Cure FSHD in their area in the fall of 2018. Together that first year, they raised over $234,000. These are our pioneer leaders: Katie Ruckert in Castle Rock, Colorado, Sue Miller in Dublin, Ohio, Nez Nickerson in Alameda, California, Nancy Payton in Puyallup, Washington, and Meredith Hummel in Cary, North Carolina.
In 2019, we expanded on that momentum and held more than twice the number of walk and rolls all across the country, which again doubled the amount of money raised. The original 5 pioneer sites all came back for a second round, and they were joined by Connecticut, Atlanta, Chicagoland, St. Louis, Utah, and Los Angeles. But that wasn't all. Other fearless leaders held a bluegrass benefit concert, a Boston pub crawl, and a bike ride across America. 2020 was shaping up to be our busiest year ever. We had already started the planning process for 17 walk and rolls, plus some other awesome fundraisers and family days. But then this happened, and this tiny little bugger has upended all of our plans. But the FSHD Society ain't your average nonprofit, and we work with some of the most dedicated and driven volunteers on the planet. We are in such a promising and transformative time for FSHD therapy development right now that we knew we just couldn't let this tiny little obstacle get in our way. So we put our heads together and made a plan. All of the walk and rolls that we had planned for this year will now take place virtually on Saturday, September 12th. With one little caveat that San Diego's event was already planned for July 11th, and they've made the brave decision to pioneer our virtual format, so their event will take place first. We know how important it is for everybody to be together to celebrate our progress and our collective hope. So each group will plan a local celebration in their area when it feels safe and comfortable to do so. We were so excited about all of the chapter groups that had jumped on board to host a fundraiser in 2020. But then when things had to go virtual, even more groups got involved. And I'm so proud to report that as of today, we have 24 virtual walk and rolls up and running. Plus, for those of you who don't live near an existing chapter, we also have a national team. So for those of you counting, that's 25 campaigns, 5 times the number we started with just 2 years ago. San Diego will kick us off on July 11th, with the rest of the country coming together on September 12th. So mark your calendars. Together, we will unite FSHD families all across the country to fight for accelerated therapy development and get treatments to the market by 2025. And here are the beautiful people who are going to make it happen. So the next time you run into one of these folks in a Zoom call, make sure you give them a big virtual hug. And if you feel so moved to offer your support for one of their endeavors, we're always looking for new people, new ideas, and new ways to get involved. A huge, huge thank you to all of the people you see here and everyone who helped to get us to this point. We're only getting started.
You can play an important role in funding progress towards treatments and a cure by signing up to participate in the virtual walk and roll that's closest to you. When you register, you join not only your local chapter, but FSHD family members from across the country who are coming together to fight FSHD. Through the National Virtual Walk and Roll campaign, we will raise critical funds needed to advance progress towards treatments and a cure, motivate and inspire FSHD patients and families, and increase awareness of FSHD from coast to coast. As Anna mentioned, the Virtual Walk and Roll campaign is being kicked off by our San Diego chapter members. They're actively fundraising now and holding their celebration on July 11th. But the rest of the country is invited to follow suit by becoming a part of the September 12th celebration. That's right. Though we'll remain safely socially distant, we'll come together for one nationwide celebration on September 12th, live streaming on Facebook and by calling in on Zoom. Tim Hollenbach, our amazing FSHD radio host, has agreed to lead a 4-hour National Walk and Roll Day live stream so we can come together and celebrate our collective efforts to put an end to the suffering caused by FSHD. All registered walk and rollers will be invited to share their walk and roll from their living room, their backyard, their neighborhood, or their favorite walking trail. Then, when the time is right, each chapter will have their own local in-person celebration. Now, if you're still not convinced that the walk and roll is for you, or you're looking for even more ways to get involved, we want you to know there's something for everyone. If there isn't a chapter near you, we're always looking for a new leader to make it happen. Where there is a chapter near you, they're just waiting for you to join their community. It takes all of us, little by little, raising the funds needed to find treatments and a cure. And you can leverage your interests and talents to fundraise for that. There's power in community, and the FSHD radio show is building community one show at a time. Join Tim, our now weekly radio show, to find your tribe. Bringing people together who know what it's like to live with FSHD is powerful and it's life-changing. Host a picnic, a potluck, or any social gathering for FSHDers, and you change the world, one person at a time. In this age of social media, we can come together from wherever we are. Follow, like, share, and join the conversation on your social media platform of choice. And last, we have amazing chapter and walk leaders from coast to coast, but they want and need your help. Will this be the year that you volunteer?
But don't take it from us. Listen for yourselves as several of our volunteer leaders share their experiences. We couldn't do it without them, and we are so fortunate to have their help. We are truly stronger together.
I decided to get involved in the chapter program because I wanted to be an activist and feel that I had empowerment in doing something about this disease. I have a mantra, which I said many times, which is, I cannot sit and cope. I must get active and hope. I think the local chapter has impacted the local community by offering it a lifeline for the patients and family members, the camaraderie, because we really get each other, sharing this, unfortunately, the same disease, the education that we give to the people about what we've learned about the disease and looking for a cure. And it's a source of comfort, not only for myself, but for my brothers and sisters with this disease. I think something special about the chapter, unique to the San Diego chapter, is whether we meet at a lab or physical therapist office or a social, is that the people in the group are interesting, they're funny, and they're very involved, and I've come to love them all.
I first got involved in the FSHD Society when my husband was diagnosed 7 years ago. So when Mark Stone and Beth Johnston gave me the opportunity to be the chapter leader, I said, absolutely, we need it here. I need it for me, I need it for my husband's family, and I know there are a lot of families affected in Utah. A lot of people don't know that they need to meet more people in the FSHD community. They don't recognize how much it's going to help them. One of my favorite parts about patient meetings is when people talk about life hacks. People who have FSHD know you have limitations and you accommodate those limitations little bit by little bit. Really, the network is amazing, and it's great to talk with people who get what you're talking about.
I decided to get involved with the chapter walk program for 2 reasons. The first reason is for my awesome husband who is affected by FSHD. And the second reason is because I was moved. My husband and I went to several chapter meetings, and there we just learned about the progress and the passion. When they asked if there was anybody that was interested in helping coordinate the walk, I went home and I thought about it and I prayed about it, and I just knew that it was something that I really was interested in, and it was a passion and a purpose that I really wanted to be a part of. And I now get to serve with some incredible individuals who are working so hard to help with FSHD. And so I guess I would encourage you to ask your friends, ask your family to join you at meetings, to come and get involved in the walk or other social events that you have. I just would encourage you to do that, because you can never underestimate the power of a simple invitation.
I decided to get involved with the chapter program because it was an outlet for me to fight for and support my husband who has FSHD. And of course, there was the added benefit of being able to contribute to our larger FSHD community as well. I think that the Colorado chapter has impacted our local FSHD community by giving others an outlet for whatever they are needing as well, whether that be to learn about scientific advances or clinical trials, or to talk to other people about how they deal with their symptoms of FSHD, or whether they just need to simply know they aren't alone and others understand the journey that they're going through. So I think and I hope that our chapter can meet others wherever they are in their journey with FSHD in that way. One of my favorite moments with the Colorado chapter so far has been at a year-end meeting where we did a visioning exercise for what our dreams would be for the chapter, all of the things that we could be doing and achieving in the coming year or two. And as our group collectively started defining what that vision looked like, I really felt this energy take hold in the room, and it was really exciting. Like, it brought a lot of excitement and joy. And after that meeting, a lot of people came forward and wanted to help contribute to the chapter in their own ways as well. And now I can't wait to see what we build together in the coming years.
I wanted to become involved in the chapter program because I wanted to help and I wanted to reach out to other people. I think one of the very special things that have evolved from our 3 years together is friendship and sense of community, working toward a common goal, and building relationships within each other and outside.
As a new chapter, I think we'll have lots of impact on our local community here. Prior to creating a chapter, Beth Johnston had come to Austin, and we'd had several get-togethers. It was apparent that people were very much interested in coming together to share their ideas, ask questions, and get references. One of the special moments that I remember is when a newly diagnosed person joined us. That person came, they listened, they talked, they're part of the group, and you could just tell that it eased their mind. All of a sudden, they were no longer alone.
I went to the leadership conference in January of 2019 with my husband George, who serves on the board, and they were starting all the chapter programs, and some of them had had their walk and rolls, and I decided I wanted to start a chapter in Tampa because we had not had a chapter in Florida yet. I really enjoyed getting to meet the patients and the families in our group. The families are amazing, and it's just a sense of community, and we're all very excited about the FSHD Society and what it has done for patients all over the world.
So I was diagnosed with FSHD just before my 17th birthday in 1977, so I've lived a long time with this disease, but I had never met another person with FSHD for 37 years until I attended a FSHD Connect conference in Boston in 2014. And when I was there, I immediately felt connected to everybody there, to other FSHD patients, to their families, to the researchers, to the FSHD Society staff, and that experience fulfilled me in some way, invigorated me, and I would like the opportunity to give that same experience to other people here. And so when the FSHD Society started saying that it's an achievable goal to have treatments and cures for this disease by 2025, but that they needed people to help to make that happen, I decided, I really want to be part of that effort.
One thing that I feel has been special to me as I've begun to plan the walk and roll for this upcoming year, because this is brand new to Idaho, so we have not had a walk and roll yet, but as I have begun to plan, something that has been special to me is connecting to my friends with my disease. And to me, I think that's what's most special about this, and I hope is going to be special for others with FSHD who are involved in this walk and roll coming up, is our friends wrapping their arms around us and being involved and it being open, and us, I guess, not being afraid to share what we're dealing with. So I think it's exciting that the driving force of the chapters being organized all over, that we are bringing the FSHD community to everybody, and where everybody can feel involved and people can reach out and connect with each other on a local level. And I believe that's going to have a huge impact.
The FSHD Society is very near and dear to my heart. I was diagnosed with FSHD in 2014 when I was pregnant with my second daughter. We all have a voice and we all have a story to share, and no doubt that when we do that, we can help so many other people with what they're going through too. So that's why I decided to get involved. I also decided to get involved because I have two daughters. They're 5 and 7 right now, and I made a commitment that FSHD stops with me. Something that's been really special, I think, is that in sharing our story and sharing about our walk and roll, we have led other people to come out and talk about their journey too.
Well, I think that now more than ever is the time to come together as an FSHD society and fight for this cure. Our global goal is going to be achieved through local chapters, and I also really wanted everyone in the area and everyone who's affected by FSHD to feel like they have people who are supporting them and really there for one another like a family. Well, I think the chapter is a really good way for all the people in our community who are affected by FSHD, not only patients but also family members and friends, to feel that support system and be a support system for someone else who's affected by FSHD. During our first chapter meeting back in November, I remember that it was just so amazing because this was the first time that any of the chapter members were meeting one another, but we instantly connected, and you could tell that we were all there to support one another and live through those experiences together and share those experiences with one another. And I think that is something that's very special about people who are affected by FSHD. You know, we're not afraid to come together and connect and really be a family for one another.
I decided to get involved because I don't want to be a spectator. I want to be a participant, a warrior, if you will, in this battle to help us find a cure by 2025. Here in the United States, it's estimated that 40,000 of us have this horrible disease. Let's add to that number family members, extended family members, caregivers, loved ones, and now that number probably balloons into 300,000. So, 300,000 folks that are giving of their time or their talent or their treasure, or hopefully all three. Think about what we could do with an army that large. So, for those of you folks that have volunteered, thank you so much. For those that have not volunteered, I would strongly encourage you to get involved, volunteer. We need strong, brave warriors like yourselves. Thank you so much.